Hey everybody, welcome back to This Woman Can. I am your host again with you here this week, Janice Sutherland, career strategist for the Black woman over 40. And this week I want to talk about comfort or getting out of your comfort zone. And I want to ask you, are you caught in your career comfort zone? I speak with mid-career Black female professionals every day, all the time, lots of them, about what they want and, what they don't want. And for most times, most are doing something that they no longer want to do, but they're doing it anyway, and, I have to question why. Well, the answer's pretty straightforward, to be honest. It's all about being trapped by your comfort zone. And it's when the comfort of the situation you're in outweighs your desire to go after what you really want, even though you're not satisfied with your current career, your current situation, or your current job. And it can go on for years and years. And no matter what's presented to you or how uninspiring your current situation is, you always find a reason why you can't make that change. So how do you know if you're locked in your career comfort zone? Well, let me tell you, you can guarantee I'm going to tell you. The first thing is you're not experiencing any professional growth. Basically you could do your job with your eyes closed. You've learned the ins and outs. You know what's coming up when you're doing the job. You know what the actions are needed. You know what your boss is going to say next. Yeah, you know that. Secondly, you speak and think about your dream career, but there's always a reason why you can't do it. And these include things like money, time, my kids, my partner, the mortgage. You know your excuses. Thirdly, you have a feeling of career lack, but that's your normal. That's what you always do. 4, you do the bare minimum when you're at work. And when you look back at your past few weeks, you struggle to identify what you've accomplished outside of the mandatory meetings, the busy work. Have you really contributed, should I say, anything substantial or anything groundbreaking at work? And then lastly, you no longer have a voice. You no longer voice your opinion. You just sit in the corner and just wait for it to happen. So how do you get outside of your comfort zone? How do you navigate what is available to you next? Again, I'm going to share with you what that looks like. So the first thing I would say is become acquainted with what's outside of your comfort zone. What are the things, the careers, the roles, industries that you would love to work in, you would love to explore the possibilities of, but you've been afraid. You've been afraid of doing so because you are so focused on the potential for disappointment or for failure. Let me give you a little exercise here. You can pause while you're listening to all the video, whatever you're doing, but draw a circle and write down those things that make you uncomfortable outside the circle. And then write down the things that you're comfortable with inside the circle. This process, it's simple, will not only allow you to clearly identify your discomforts, but also your comforts. So get a bit more clarity around them. And that leads me on to number 2. So, become clear about what you're aiming to overcome. So take that same list of discomforts and go a little deeper. Think a little deeper about it. Remember, the primary emotion you're trying to overcome is fear. So look at it and say the discomfort. What are your fears connected to each of the identified scenarios or discomforts? Be very specific. Is it because you're insecure about your abilities? Are you nervous about being judged by people, maybe in networking situations, for instance? Are you concerned you'll be judged as too old if you're going for a new role? Or are you afraid of being rejected when it comes to the interview situation? Yeah, so think about that. Then number 3, you want to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. And I say this a lot. So one way to get outside of your comfort zone is to literally expand it. So make it a goal to avoid running away from the things that make you uncomfortable or give you some discomfort. And let's stay in that theme of networking I mentioned earlier. So if you start feeling a little panicked when talking to someone you've just met, try to stay a little longer than you normally would. Hang on to that conversation, maybe an extra question than you'd normally answer before retreating to your comfort zone. If you stay long enough and practice enough, it'll start becoming less uncomfortable. So you'll start getting used to it and get more comfortable with the networking scenario. Number 4, I want you to see failure as a teacher, as a learning opportunity. Many of us are so afraid of failing that we would rather do nothing than take a shot at what our dreams are. And if you view failure as a learning opportunity, how you approach those uncomfortable scenarios really starts to change in your mind. So you want to question yourself, when you face those situations, what do you learn from the experience? How can you take that lesson to maybe your next interview to increase your chances of success? Trust me, many highly successful people failed plenty of times before they succeeded. And their secret to success was having that mindset of, just challenging it every single time, learning from those failures. Number 5, take baby steps. And I'm sure you've heard the riddle, how do you eat an elephant? And the answer is 1 bite at a time. That's exactly how you should treat stepping outside of your comfort zone. Just take one small, tiny, what you may think insignificant action towards the fear you're trying to overcome. If you want to increase your network, start by taking an opportunity to connect with small groups or expand by maybe 1 or 2 people or connect with someone online. Number 6, be honest with yourself. And when you're trying to make excuses, don't say, oh, I don't have the time for this right now. I'm too busy. I can't make time for that. Instead, be honest and say, I'm afraid to do this. Don't make the excuses. Just be honest. You'll find you'll be in a better place to confront what's really bothering you and increase your chances of moving forward. Number 8, identify how taking action will benefit you. What's the benefits of you taking that action? What will the ability for you to engage in more networking do for your personal and professional growth? What will it do? And when you've thought of them, keep those potential benefits in mind as a motivator to push through that fear. They want to say, take it easy on yourself. Come on. We all make mistakes. So learn to see the funny side and laugh at yourself when things happen, things go wrong. Risk taking will invariably involve failure and maybe sometimes setbacks that will make you look silly to others. But that's them. Be happy to roll with the punches and, and poke fun at yourself if a need when be. And lastly, focus on the positive. Enjoy the process stepping outside your safe zone, your comfort zone. Embrace the fun of discovering something new. I try and do that all the time. It may feel a little bit nervy to begin with, but you may learn things about yourself that you may not have been previously aware of. And I know it may seem scary to get out of your comfort zone at first, but as I said, you don't need to jump right out, into something deep all at once. You can take those small steps gradually, or those gradual small steps. And as you push past your comfort zone, you'll feel more and more at ease about new challenges and situations which seemed oh so scary to you or maybe dangerous. But once you've taken that first step, I know that you'll make it. So that's it this week. Maybe a leaving parting question for you is, have you ever realised you were living in your career comfort zone and done something about it? I really want to hear about it. Those are the kind of questions I'll be posing in the This Woman Can community. And we'll be sharing those answers and sharing the situations we found ourselves in. And more importantly, how we took ourselves out of this comfort zone, how we faced our fears, how we navigated them, became successful at the other end. And if we weren't successful, we'll take away the learnings from them, because it's all part of the process. As I said, it's the kind of question you'll find in the This Woman Can community, and I want you to join us. So head over to janicesutherland.com, click community at the top, join the community, join the conversation, and get some advice, get some career advice, mentoring, more information, all about being a black woman over 40, navigating their career. Because remember, if I can, you can, this woman can. Take care until next time, and I'll see you there.